Hi, it's Manic44 here, and today I invite you to the review of the Gate Aster and the Quantum Trigger. At the beginning, I would like to thank Gate Enterprise for sending me the unit and the trigger for the review. What is Aster? Aster is an advanced MOSFET unit that replaces the standard contacts. It operates on optical sensors, thanks to which it's able to precisely detect the position of selector, the sector gear and the trigger. And all that without using any moving parts, which theoretically guarantees a trouble-free operation. In addition, the unit has a lot of functions, thanks to which we can personalize the operation of our replica to our requirements. In addition to the functions known from other MOSFET units, such as changing fire modes, precocking or active braking, additionally, we can set the sensitivity of our trigger exactly. And here it's time for the second product from Gate, the Quantum Trigger. Quantum Trigger is a specially designed trigger, thanks to which we will be able to set the sensitivity of our trigger almost by a hair, without additional modifications. But before we talk about it, let's do a little unboxing. Aster as a premium product is packaged in an elegant black box. Inside we will find quite detailed for a quick start guide instructions containing everything from installation to initial system programming. A card with functions that can be programmed using only the trigger. Box with accessories needed for installation. Large patch powered by Aster. And the Gate Aster unit itself. When it comes to the trigger, it's packaged in foil and cardboard. Let's first take a look at the Aster unit. We'll take a look at the unit that I have installed in my Spetsna Arms SAE-10. As I mentioned it earlier, it operates on optical sensors. A sensor located here detects the position of the trigger. The set of these sensors detects the position of the sector gear. And on the other side of the unit we'll find 3 sensors responsible for detecting the position of the selector plate. The MOSFET already has soldered wires ending with a TDM plug. The installation comes down to removing the cutoff lever and the contacts, and in its place we can install the unit itself. On the gearbox shell and selector plate, appropriate stickers should be installed, thanks to which the system will be able to monitor the position of the trigger and the selector plate. The sector gear should be properly set. Remember that during this process follow the instructions, as incorrect installation of any of the components may result in malfunction or operation problems. As you remember in the introduction, I mentioned that the optical systems guarantee theoretically trouble-free operation. Theoretically, because they not have any moving parts that could wear out, but due to the nature of the optical systems, they are sensitive to dirt. So apart from correct assembly, do not forget to not overdo the grease on the gears, which could land on the sensors and block them. The Gate Aster works with any normal AAG trigger, but to achieve the sensitivity at the level of a gentle touch, Gate created the Quantum Trigger, a trigger specially designed so that the unit can monitor its movement very accurately, giving us up to 60 points of movement in the first millimeter of the trigger path. Mounting the trigger itself is practically no different from mounting other ones. We uninstall the old trigger and in its place we put the Quantum Trigger, and here it's worth checking if the trigger does not move sideways. If so, I recommend that you shim it so it can move freely but it does not swing sideways, thanks to which we'll achieve greater precision. The unit is assembled, now let's see how to program it. I showed you the trigger programming and the available functions in the Spetsna Arms SAE-10 review, so if you are interested in this, I invite you to the material that appear in the right corner. In today's review I will focus on the advanced functions available by connecting to the GCS application. Connection to the application gives us a number of possibilities, depending on what software our unit has, and we can choose from Basic, Advanced and Expert. It will take me too long to describe all the differences, so if you want to know them truly, you will find the link to the table in the description of the video. Or you can download the GCS application and play in the preview mode. The unit comes with the software in basic version that can be upgraded to the advanced version in the application for 34 euros and to the expert version for 49 euros. All versions offer functions such as programming of the fire mode between semi-out and burst, precocking, active brake, roof control, 2-stage trigger or battery protection. In short, the versions differ in the degree of function control, giving us more settings, and we get additional functions such as sniper delay, information about small amount of ammunition, or very useful measurement information such as rate of fire, voltage, energy consumption, and others. As for me, the application itself is quite simple, although sometimes you can get lost. I played with the unit and I found that if someone doesn't need to set the burst, for example to exactly 37 BBs, or have the access to a measurement information, the basic version should be enough for him. The thing that I don't like is the fact that active braking works in adaptive mode. That means it adjusts itself to the replica, but precocking must be set on basis of time in milliseconds, which means that the settings it the way we want can mean a tedious trial and error process, especially if we have a USB link that needs to be unplugged after each change of settings to check them in practice. It also means that if, for example, the battery is changed to a stronger one mid-game with a fairly high precock value, it may turn out that the replica will start shooting double and will require changing the settings. Unless we have a unit with expert software, we can save our results by setting different profiles for different batteries. Talking about settings, let's see how the quantum trigger works. After calibration, we can actually set the trigger to work with minimal pressure. In the example shown, I did not set the trigger as sensitive as possible, but you can see that I only need to move the trigger a little bit for it to work, and we can set it even more sensitive. The Aster unit gives us great possibilities of fire control in our replica, from setting fire mode, through rough control to battery protection. But to fully use it, we'll need at least a USB link, because you cannot set much with the trigger itself. Additionally, if you are interested in some functions or their options, you will also require a paid software upgrade. But from my own experience, I can say that the basic software should suit needs of most users. Optical sensors gives a very high precision in detecting the cycles and the trigger movement, but they are also sensitive to dirt and side light. They may interfere with the operation of the replica. In first versions of the software, the replica was able to shoot by itself, for example. Now the problem has been solved. When it comes to the quantum trigger, we get exactly what is promised, the ability to set the sensitivity of the trigger literally to the touch. The installation itself does not differ in any way from installation of a regular trigger. At the price of almost 30 euros, I only missed the possibility to adjust the maximum trigger movement, which will be very useful, especially in very sensitive settings. The trigger itself is available in 4 styles and many colors. Both products work as intended. Their quality is very good and the installation is not particularly difficult. And the options are very rich. Unfortunately, on the other hand, we have to buy additional devices such as the USB link or Blue link to take full advantage of these rich functions. And if we really want to squeeze max from the unit, you will have to buy a software update to access more options. However, if you are interested in an optical MOSFET that you can conveniently control from your phone, you have to choose between the Aster and a Titan. The parent optical can be programmed from the trigger, which is not that difficultly, and the Jeftron Leviathan works based on micro switches, which not everyone may like. Additionally, you should remember that when you decide to buy a Gate brand product, you enter their ecosystem, which according to the plans will integrate more cooperating devices, such as the status mentioned in the previous review. I'll leave the final verdict to you. Let me know in the comments what do you think about the Aster and the Quantum Trigger. And for now, thanks for watching and see you next time.